What's up? How is everybody doing? Hope everybody is fine, guys. Welcome to another edition of Tactical Solutions. Today, we're going to be talking about Spezia, what we saw during that game. We're going to be talking a little bit about Daniel Maldini. We're going to do a nice video on Daniel Maldini. We're going to do a reaction video to Daniel Maldini versus Spezia, and we're going to analyze play by play. And then we're going to finish off a little bit with Atletico Madrid and go over the probable formations of Atletico Madrid, the probable formations of AC Milan, and go over this nice piece that Sempre Milan released. All right, so what's up, Joel? Forza Milan? Yes, sir. Tomorrow is a big day indeed. It is a big day indeed. Milan, second time in the Champions League after 7 years, but we will get into that as time goes by. But first, let's talk a little bit about Milan Spezia, or rather Spezia Milan, and what that game meant, and how important that game is in different kind of perspectives. First of all, what's up, Ahmed? How you doing? A 4-4-2 is very difficult, and crashing 4-2-3-1 in the middle. Yeah, we'll get into all of that technical stuff in just a second, but I want to reiterate how important that win against Spezia is today. It was on the weekend. Those are very difficult games. There are no easy games in the Serie A if you want to win the Scudetto. And in order to win the Scudetto, you have to win a lot of games. You have to win a lot of games, and you have to win the games that when you look back at, you don't want to say, you don't want to regret it, right? Because there's some teams that you can play against, like, for example, like Juventus, like Inter, like Roma, like Lazio, right now Atalanta, Napoli, Inter, if I already mentioned. These are all teams that away, if you lose points there, as long as you don't lose too many points against too many teams, you just keep the damage at a minimal. If you lose points there, you're kind of like, okay, fine. We lost points away at Napoli. Napoli right now is a very strong team. Fine. But when you look back and you say, oh my God, we lost points against Spezia, a team that is nowhere near the caliber of AC Milan as far as project, as far as technical ability, as far as ambition, then you're like, fuck, it's like something went wrong, right? So thank God that is not what happened over these two games. And these two games are so important because those are 6 points that accumulate and they look good. They make you look good on that table. Right now, Milan is top of the pack, alone second of the Serie A, winning important games and winning against a direct rival, which was Lazio, winning against Lazio at the San Siro. So that's already a good tick off of the winning against the bigger teams. Taking 1 point away from at the Juventus, even though there is a little bit of regret, because against Juve, when we played that second half, it felt like Milan could have won the game. It felt like, so there's a little bit of remorse, but not so much, because at the end of the day, we took away 1 point in a stadium that we don't have to play again for the Serie A. It's done. Next time they play against us, they come to our house, in our house. So we have the advantage. We have the advantage over Juventus right now. Lazio, we beat them, good. Then we beat Cagliari, one of the smaller teams. Mission accomplished. We beat Spezia, one of the smaller teams. Mission accomplished. We beat Venezia, one of the smaller teams. Nine on paper easy points that in reality aren't so easy, because a lot of times these teams, they kind of like fall asleep, and they take these games for granted, and they don't play them seriously enough. But Milan did. This is a great indication that Milan is on its way to having a very good go at the Scudetto. Milan can essentially win the Scudetto this season. It is a reality, guys. When was last time you could literally say Milan this year is one of the contenders for the Scudetto? Guys, I haven't said that in almost a decade. I haven't said these words in almost a decade, or maybe a little bit less than a decade. But today I can say them confidently, logistically, with absolutely no doubt that Milan is a contender for the Scudetto. Milan can win the Scudetto. As a matter of fact, Milan has to win the Scudetto. Let's be honest. We have to win the Scudetto this year, because I know we'll talk about the Champions League, and I told you what I think about how good Milan can do in the Champions League. But let's also talk about something that is extremely important. Right now, if Inter wins the Scudetto, they will get a second star on their shirt. That is a huge, huge accolade. All right? That is a huge accolade. And if Inter gets that accolade before us, they're going to get a big win over AC Milan in this rivalry. We have to not make that happen, man. We have to get that. That is our accolade. We have to get that. We need to be the second team in Italy to be wearing 2 stars on their shirt. Juventus won that second star many years ago, so there's no point in being salty about that. But if Inter gets that second shirt before Milan, I'll be very salty about that, and a lot of fans will be salty. And that's history. That is history. History will say that Inter won the second star before AC Milan. We cannot let that happen. We cannot let that happen. Milan now has the true chance of winning the Scudetto and winning this race against Inter, because trust me, guys, this is a race. This is a race. Both these clubs they're fighting. Both these clubs know. They know what it means to be the second team getting 2 stars on the shirt. They are 1 away, we are 2 away. And this year we can win the Scudetto. We can bring it to a match point kind of situation. Right now, guys, I know this is crazy. That is the most important thing that is happening as far as Milan winning trophies. It's actually not the Champions League. I mean, the Champions League is great. If we win another Champions League, amazing. But if they get that second star, that's too big. That's too big. We cannot let that happen. We have to win the Scudetto this year, fight for the Champions League, get far, possibly weak, depending on how the cards fall on the table. We could go all the way. Obviously, that's a narrow chance, but Milan does have a technical team, has the technical capacity to beat any team in Europe as long as things go our way, right? It's Milan can be competitive against any team in Europe, guys, at this moment. Well, the problem is that we're going to talk about that once we get into the Madrid situation. So let's just talk a little bit about Spezia. First of all, let's go to the comments and see who's here. We got some comments coming in. Saif, how you doing, my friend? Saif, we got Skillard, OG Skillard. We got Haza. I feel the width will be crucial tomorrow. Simeone loves to be compact. Yeah, tomorrow we are playing against a very, very good coach, a very prepared coach. We need to beat bottom 10 teams away and home for guaranteed 60 points, then top 4 should be in the bag. Boom. Boom, boom, boom. Straight to the point. Numbers do not lie. Numbers do not lie. Beating those bottom 10 teams, it is essential. We have won it last year, but injuries and some questionable decisions bungled it up. Of course, injuries. Of course, that's another part. That's another part why it's very difficult to assess what is going to happen, because you cannot predict injuries. Predicting injuries is literally, well, I mean, with Milan, maybe now you can, but with other teams, no, not really. I mean, Inter, I tried to predict injuries for Inter last year. It did not work. The voodoo I sent to Inter did not work. They were injury free, but obviously there is a common denominator there, or rather there is a reason one can think, which is because they had the best athletic preparator in the world. Obviously those are human resources that do a job, and they lead jobs, and these jobs either come to fruition well or they don't. Roy, check out Denis Zakaria. If Kessie leaves, he could replace him, and he is out of contract this upcoming summer, so we could get him for free, guys. We're talking about Kessie here. We're talking about Kessie, the crazy situation with Kessie. Bro, Roy, come on. Their second star would not mean that they're bigger or even close to us. That would only mean they only have 2 leagues. No. Now, Safe, this is too big. You do not understand that. If you don't understand how important this accolade is in this race, in this rivalry, you have to learn that it is very important. It is very important. We cannot just we cannot allow them to win the second star. That is almost as big as life. Roy, you're forgetting that Inter won 2 Scudettos from Calciopoli. Well, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I don't care about that, guys. I care about that second star. If they won it that way, whatever, whatever. I don't care. It's what's on paper. Paper says that one more, they win a second star. We cannot allow that to happen. Unfortunately, I feel almost like we got to kind of stray off of the path in order to prevent this and then get back on the path of the Champions League. I'm almost inclined to think, guys, I'm not convinced about this, yes, but I'm almost inclined to think Milan's priority for the next 3 years should be winning 2 Scudettos. We got to win in these next 3 years, we have to win the Scudetto twice. This is too important. We have to be baptized the second team in Italy that got 2 stars. That spot belongs to us. Unfortunately, Juve got it first, but we cannot be the third. That is not good for our prestige. It is not good for our pedigree. If you can't grab gold, grab silver. If you can't grab silver, grab bronze. If you can't grab bronze, go fourth, etc. Right now, we're in the race for silver, and it's too important. It is too important. Saif Najjar, he's looking good so far. No injuries. He just got unlucky last season. Kamara is incredible. Okay, guys, I'm not really going to get into so much about Kessie right now. Red John, what's up? We got Red John in the house. I agree, and somehow best case scenario, in my opinion, would be Kessie renews, and we also get Kamara for free. The best scenario is Kessie renews, 100%. And I think we can all agree on that. The number one scenario for the Kessie situation is that he renews. And once he renews, life is good. Okay, guys, so let's talk just a little bit about Spezia and AC Milan. We're not going to spend too much time over that. We're not going to do that. But we are just going to look a little bit. We are going to look at some of the continuous tactics that Pioli has deployed in against his opposition. At this point, we figured it out. At this point, we understand it. We get it. He hasn't changed it for quite a while now. He's been doing the same tactic essentially from preseason. It's since preseason. I see now. Finally, we see what Pioli worked on preseason. At least I can finally see it. What Pioli worked on preseason is trying to make the team unpredictable. And the way he makes it unpredictable is that the way the team attacks from behind, attacks either in 3 or 4, and those 3 or 4 keep on being interchanged between midfielders and the fullbacks going up. The center backs always stay either in the back 3 or the back 2 or the back 4, but the fullbacks interchange with the midfielders, whether it's a 3 or a 4. This is what Pioli designed this summer in order to make our build-up unpredictable. And it is a very smart thing to do, very difficult to read because you cannot know when who is going to be what and where. So Milan is attacking every Milan could literally do 5 sequences, offensive sequences, and each offensive sequence starts with a different design, meaning it's going to be unpredictable. And also the defensive aspect. He doesn't always build with 3 in the back. Sometimes he builds with 2 or 4, depending on how low the team and how high they're pressing us. But the 3 in the back, whether it is a midfielder or a fullback, guarantees one thing, that if you lose your ball as you're going out, meaning a high press or the midfield that you're playing against wins the ball against you, you already have 3 players defending that. And that's why he does the 3 in the back. It's not necessarily to cover counterattacks, because if he did it to cover counterattacks, then he would always build like he did in the last 5 games of the previous season, the same 3 in the back. It was always the same 3. It was always Calabria, Kjaer, and Tomori. That never changed. So this season, he's not counting so much on countering counterattacks. He's more so much countering if you lose the ball in build-up play, if you lose the ball in a higher position, we already have the numbers to defend that. And it's quite brilliant, I gotta say. It's quite brilliant, and this is what he's been doing for all the games, really all the games since basically the first competitive preseason game. That's what he was doing, and now he's just been doing it the same thing. So that's what they worked on this summer. That is the it's a very interesting tactical solution. It's a very smart way. It's something that takes a lot of time to figure out, to do well, because there's so many pieces that are moving and changing as it develops. It's ingenious. It's ingenious, guys. It's very ingenious. I think let's see how it does. Anyway, so we saw a lot of that against Spezia, but again, both Spezia and Venezia, another thing that we realized is that quality does make the difference. When we played against Venezia, the team with the second lines, even though held the ball well, did not really give Venezia many chances. We didn't have a KO punch, right? But then when the first lines came, when Hernandez came in, and then you had Salamakers, and you put Brahim Diaz for Kessie, whatever, we do have the KO punches. But we need them. And it is a positive thing that with the market, that I gave AC Milan's market a number 9 or a 10, because what they did, they allowed AC Milan to be covered in every position with depth, with players that are valuable, with players that can play big games. All right? Players that can play big games, but some players are just more incisive than others. Roy, I want to start a mini debate here. Do you think that Kalulu can replace Calabria for the starting lineup in the near future? I love Capitano Cala, but I believe Kalulu has a higher ceiling. It is possible. I think not any time in the future. I think because Calabria is just a little bit more advanced than Kalulu as far as career goes. He's 2 years older. He already has national team experience. He's about to break through into the national team. So that just gives Calabria the edge. I don't know. It is possible. But both of them, what is important right now is that both of them are reliable. That is what is important. And that is more important than whoever will replace who. Both of them are reliable. Right now, you would say Calabria is probably more effective offensively, even though Kalulu got a good assist. But Kalulu, I have nothing negative to say about Kalulu. So Kalulu was one of the great things that we found out about Venezia and Spezia. That we have a second line fullback that can guarantee you quality and defensive ability. That makes that department nice and strong, because we have Calabria and we have Kalulu. In defense, we have, I mean, some of you guys wanted to get rid of Romagnoli, which is crazy to me. It is absolutely crazy. But now we have Romagnoli, that can, you guys saw how great Romagnoli is in these games. Romagnoli has played beautiful football, has defended well. And I mean, he came in for Kjaer, you know? Kjaer is a great defender. We need, if you want to go far in the Champions League, we need at least 3 great defenders. We have 3 great defenders. That is why I would say keep Romagnoli this year. Let's use him for the technical, tactical purposes. Then we have Gabbia. I mean, Gabbia is Italy's under-21 star. We have seen that with the Italy under-21 stars, most of them become stars when they get into the senior levels. So not only we have 3 great defenders, but we have the 4th central defender, which is a great prospect. I mean, it couldn't be any better than that. It literally couldn't be any better than that. The only thing that could be better are the names. I don't know what are the names, but I mean, honestly, who would I substitute Tomori with in the world? Is there any defender in the world that I would substitute Tomori with? I don't think so, man. Kjaer? I don't think so. But I mean, maybe Kjaer, Romagnoli, but Tomori, right now, Tomori 23, showing to be an absolute champion. Even Gabbia, like I wouldn't get rid of Gabbia. Gabbia and Tomori are the 2 assets right there. Romagnoli is I don't know if he's an asset, but right now technically he is an asset. Financially, I don't know if he's an asset. Kjaer, I mean, unfortunately, it's going towards the end of his career, so he's more of a locker room asset, footballing asset. But when it comes to the economic, financial value, the treasury, Gabbia and Tomori are 2 assets. Why would you want to get rid of them? Like those are 2 players that you would keep for a long time. So Milan, and defensively, Calabria is the same. Calabria is the same. He's an asset. Well, Moab, but I'm not talking about. I mean, I said that Gabbia is a prospect. He's a prospect, and he is. I repeat this for a lot of people just seem to not understand this. He is the defensive superstar of the under-21 national team. The under-21 national team is one of the great teams in that sphere, is one of the elite teams. It's a team that with Spain has won the Euro under-21s the most. It is a team that has a lot of pride and a lot of and likes to keep the level pretty high. So Gabbia is the star captain of that team. The perspectives is the best you can have in Italy. We have the best prospect, defensive prospect in Italy, according to, let's say, statistical events that keep on happening throughout time with the 21, under 21, and the seniors. Kalulu also is exactly the same for France, guys. Kalulu also, actually, Kalulu is an under 21 that has done really well. The under 21s are great trampoline boards for players to then go into the senior squads. Once you are a stable fixture in a senior squad, then you are a professional football player that you can give responsibilities to. Thank you, Eastbourne, guys. We have Eastbourne here, OG. Please like the stream, guys. Thank you very much for being here. Tomori Migaza. Yes, sir. Hit like, man. 27 watch, but only 6 likes. Guys, only 6 likes. What the hell? Hit that like button. Help the stream, help the channel grow, and all of that good stuff. Help the channel grow by doing all that good stuff. All right. So let's move the conversation to Daniel Maldini right now. Daniel Maldini, because in conjunction with the players that have grown. Hey guys, we have Davide Romano in the house. OG Davide. Beating Atalanta would be huge. Yeah, Absolutely. That game also, I mean, how crazy is that? Atletico Madrid, then Atalanta. But we'll get into that. I want to talk a little bit about Daniel Maldini. Also, I want to try and do something. I want to try and do a review of Maldini versus Spezia, and we'll do a play-by-play, and hopefully the stream doesn't get cut off. Kerkez should be in first team in a few years. Kerkez, yeah, I mean, we're talking about the future here. All right, so Daniel Maldini. So in conjunction with Balotore, with Gabbia, with Kalulu, well, those are the second team players, right? More so, we have Daniel Maldini. Also, in the last two games, not only did we get full points, 6 points against Venezia and then against Spezia, but we got also 4 additional players that proved to be reliable players. And some of these players were actually key to the 6 points. Kalulu, right away against Juventus. Kalulu showed against Juventus he can play in a super hostile stadium against Juventus, against one of the biggest teams in Europe. And he showed that he can do that. Okay, then Balotore, we saw how Balotore is. He's reliable. Defensively, he's reliable. In possession, whether it's on the defense or in the midfield or in the offense, he doesn't lose the ball. He doesn't lose a ball. He's not very composed. He doesn't have a KO punch. That was only his first time. Let's see if it develops it. He could develop it. But at least we know that from a defensive and possession-based aspect, he's reliable. Then, of course, we already knew Gabbia was reliable for a long time, but it's good to see that he is keeping himself consistent. So now let's just talk about Daniel Maldini. Daniel Maldini. Let's see if I can do this. Hold on. So Daniel Maldini, the son of the legend Paolo Maldini, grandson of the first legend of legends, Cesare Maldini. Cesare Maldini, captain of AC Milan 1963, winning the first AC Milan Champions League was lifted by Cesare Maldini. And his son lifted the trophy, I believe, twice. So that's and Cesare Maldini won 3 consecutive under-21 Euros. So Cesare Maldini, not only a legend for AC Milan, but a legend for Italian football in general. Cesare Maldini was the national team under-21 coach that propelled the likes of players like Totti, Del Piero, Vieri, basically the generation that won the 2006 World Cup. Or part of that team. So not only has and Cesare Maldini also won 2 trophies as a coach for AC Milan also. I believe he won I can't remember the cups, but I know he won 2 cups for AC Milan. I think a Super Cup and a Coppa Italia, something like that. And also, Cesare Maldini is the coach that coached that super great win against Inter 6-1 or 6-0. So, you know, that Maldini name runs deep in the AC Milan veins. And we have a third generation, first time 3 generations score in the same team. But anyway, so I'm going to do this. I'm going to do a play-by-play here on the game that he played against Spezia. And I want to really figure out, and I want to see with you guys, is he going to become a champion? What is his ceiling? What are we seeing right now that he can do? And what can he do even more so in a few years? Because remember, when looking at players, you always have to calculate their experience, their age, and how far in their learning curve they are. So we'll look at it from that perspective. All right, let me prepare this video. Last time I did this, it was fine, so I don't see why it should be any different this time. Okay. Let's see what you guys are saying. Paolo Maldini won the CL 5 times. Oh, man, Loris. I said he lifted the trophy twice. Do you not know what that means? When someone says that, do you not understand the difference in winning the trophy and the difference in lifting the trophy? There's a difference there, my man. There is a difference, Lorus. You should know this. You should know the difference. I shouldn't be even trying to explain it to you. 6/7 CLs that we have won with a Maldini in our team. Six. The second Champions League was with no Maldinis in the team. But the first and the last 5 were with a Maldini in the team. And maybe the next one is with another Maldini in the team. What world-class... yeah, that's what I said. Oh, 6 out of 7. That's what you meant. Okay, got you. What world-class player does Maldini mostly remind you of? Good question. I don't know. Honestly, don't know. That's a tough question to answer. Okay, I'm going to say it. Do not hunt me down. I'm going to say Zinedine Zidane. That's who if I were to make a comparison, that's who I see. Technically, physically also. The way he kind of plays in a compact fashion, but with long limbs, is similar to Zidane. But I mean, I'm not even thinking about that, guys. Like, I said that, but we're going to take that out of the records right away. He needs more game time to prove himself, just being on the bench. In saying that Maldini played 8 times in a CL final just shows how mighty Milan is. I know, that's crazy. Roy, how far do you think we are from being UCL contenders as like a team like Bayern Munich or Man City? Okay, our technical project, quite far. Because those teams that you described are packed with players that have a lot of experience playing super high-stake games, where the pressure is at a complete different level. AC Milan, our players, if you look at our players, literally Spezia. You know what? I want to say one more thing about Spezia. There are some moments of the Spezia match that were very special to me. There are 3 moments in that Spezia match that to me were super special, and it will kind of answer this question that you're asking, or that you're curious about, or my opinion about this. The 3 moments. The first moment was the one where Calabria, Il Capitano, pulled down Brahim's shirt. Why have a stupid yellow card for no reason? Then, I don't even need to explain that. Great moment. Second, then, of course, Maldini scoring, the story of the dynasty of Maldini. But my first favorite moment of that game was when the second half was about to start, and in the tunnel was coming out Pellegrini and Leao. And they're coming in for Giroud, who is in his 30s, and Rebic, who is 27. Pellegrini 20, Leao 22. We're sending in 2 youngsters to solve this game for us, also for rotational purposes. But these are 2 youngsters. When the moment that Pellegrini and Leao stepped in the pitch, and then Kessie stepped out of the pitch, and Brahim stepped in that pitch, the moment we won that game against Spezia, I want you to consider this statistic. The oldest player in that pitch was Romagnoli, who was 27, and the second oldest player in that pitch was the goalkeeper, who was 26 or 25. Everybody else in that pitch, starting from Pellegrini, 20, Salamakers, 21, 22, Brahim, 22. I think Salamakers 22, Brahim 22, Leao 22, Tonali 21, I think still, or about to turn 22. Benacer 23, Tomori 23, Teo Hernandez 23, Kalulu 21, then Calabria 23. I don't think a lot of you guys understand how incredible that is. This is very rare. You don't see this. You don't see this very often for such a young team to be performing at these levels. It's like it's very rare to see this. And this is why this team is so freaking special. And this is why, even though I've criticized Paolo Maldini and with his renewal tactics and all that stuff, and the team on how, you cannot argue the scouting and the technical project and how they're developing these players is absolutely top notch. Today, 2021, I can say with confidence Milan can win the Scudetto with players that literally just came out of the under 21s. When was the last time anybody has said that? I don't think I've ever said that in my whole life. So you have to put that in consideration, that we have a lot of youngsters, therefore it takes time to get at the level of those kind of games. But we have to win big games. By winning big games, like for example, if we win tomorrow, that's a big badge of honor for these players that they will take in their bag of experiences. And they have to win trophies. You have to win trophies with your national teams. You have to play big games with your national teams. You have to win the Scudetto this year. That will give you a lot of confidence, so when you play against teams like Man City and Dortmund, Bayern Dortmund, who are filled with players that have played these games over and over and over and over again. That's the only difference. It's not that they're better teams. It's just they have players with more experience of the big stage, the big theater. All we need is just that. All we need is just to play Champions League every year. That's all we need. We need to make the Champions League a normal thing. Once Milan makes the Champions League a normal thing, or like how it usually has always been, just the other competition that we play every year, that we try to win, but just let it be just the other competition that we play. It has to be our home. It has to feel like home. Right now, they just stepped inside their home for the first time. They're trying to figure out where things are. And as soon as they figure out where things are in their home, they're going to treat their home with respect and dignity, and they're going to win and win. This team seems to have that kind of trajectory, which is fantastic. It's literally fantastic. Okay, let's look at Daniel Maldini. All right, play-by-play Daniel Maldini versus Spezia. Okay, right there, right away. Like, let's look at this play right here. So two players coming in, one player on his body and the other player closing in here from the side. Okay, so Daniel Maldini pushes the player behind him away, and then with a slick over the ball, roll the ball, kind of makes this player, run into space. Oh, you don't see it? Hold on. Let's do this. Let's make it bigger. Let's make it bigger. Okay. What about now, guys? Do you see it? Oh, the video is frozen. Okay, I see what you said. Okay, got it, guys. We got it. All right. So first play here, play-by-play, right away. What does this play here tell you about Daniel Maldini? Hold on. There you go. Okay, so Daniel Maldini right now, he has two players going over him. We have two players going over him. You can see one player is behind him, but Daniel Maldini right now has the ball. Number 7 is coming on him diagonally, right? He's coming in on him diagonally. So let's analyze, what does Daniel Maldini do in this kind of situation? High pressure. High pressure. Let's look at what his instinct and what his skill set and what his mind tells him to do. Okay, right there. So did you guys see that? He pushes the guy behind him backwards, and then with a slick touch, with that slick roll off the ball, you know, he lets the other guy, number 7, run into empty space. Now that play right there is a very difficult play to execute in a high-level game. So that has to tell you that this kid has talent. Pioli said that this kid has talent. So that was the first positive thing that we saw from Daniel Maldini, which I think you know, is a good maybe it's a good indicator. Okay, let's keep on going. Okay. Okay, right. Was that right? Him right there. Another thing that we see from Daniel is his ability to slide tackle, and he's got a actually. I don't know if you guys have seen. There's an old video of that. I think it was Daniel Maldini slide tackling Seedorf, just you know, during a celebration on the pitch, and I think it was Daniel Maldini when he was a kid. You can find that somewhere on YouTube. It's from 2007, I think. It was after the Champions League win, and they were at the stadium celebrating with the fans. Seedorf was just in his tracksuit, playing with the ball, playing with the kids. And Daniel Maldini comes in, and he does a slide tackle on Seedorf, and he steals the ball from Seedorf beautifully. So right away, we saw that Daniel Maldini has a great tackle. So now here we have another example of really slick tackle right there. And not only he wins the ball, but he uses the tackle as a pass. He uses the tackle as a pass, which is quite another indicator of his talent. All right, let's keep on going. Let's hope this thing doesn't. All right, so this play right here, where he goes into space and then he does that play right there with his back heel. Okay, I thought that usually I would say that is a play that a number 10 would make. A trick play. He uses his back heel, plays the ball back into space. So it does show that he does have awareness of where the players are around him, right? Even though technically it wasn't very pretty the way it was executed, but it does show that he has awareness. So he knows who's behind him and how much space that player behind him has. That is basically the awareness of space. And he uses, you know, a back heel, a flick to do it. Shows that creative arrogance in him. And it goes, and here also I think the sequence now keeps on going, and also you do see a really quick touch pass. Daniel Maldini has really quick one-touch balls that are very, very precise and can go through very tight channels. Okay, right here. So this touch that he does right there, it's an improvised touch, but it is a correct improvised touch. And from a technical standpoint, good. And then the pass here to Giroud is actually a really good pass. A really good pass through the channels. And it goes straight to Giroud's foot. Giroud has the one touch to, I believe that is Kessie coming in from the right. But Giroud then makes the mistake. But the touch was there. The touch was correct. And now here we're starting to see some of his limitations in the game. And this is where you're starting to see some of his limitations. That I've noticed, and also that Pioli was talking about, which is he needs to learn how to peel off defenders a little bit better. So now he receives the ball and gets himself. He does a good job in shielding the ball, but he's too close to the defenders when he receives the ball. You have to step away from the defenders when you receive the ball. Okay, now here, just a normal possession. Nothing interesting. All right, right there. Fantastic one-touch, back heel touch. Again, awareness of where is who, and that is a very difficult pass to execute in the middle of the park in an area where there's a lot of traffic. If he can do that in the last third, then this guy can really become something special. But anyway, difficult flick, very precise flick to Giroud. Giroud, really poor form. Giroud had a very poor game, to be honest with you, because his form is just not there. But Maldini fed Giroud. The number 10 did feed the 9. And already we saw that in 2 occasions. And here, a poor touch, but it worked. It came through. It found Kessie. Back to 1-2. And here, beautiful. Okay, again, there, showing Maldini. Maldini showing his spatial awareness, his timing, when to shift to the left, when to shift to the right, getting himself into space, then opening up the play. That's exactly what you want from your number 10. That's exactly what you want from your number 10. Right there. 1-2 with a midfielder, frees themselves up, opens the game to the winger. Right here, good. Right there, good shielding of the ball. Shields the ball correctly, brings the ball into space where nobody can get the ball, keeps on doing that. One touch to the other side of this player right here, and creates the ball. Okay, the guy knows how to play football. This kid knows how to play football. Obviously, you have to be able to do this. You have to be able to do this against the big teams in high-stake games. Okay, here, now that was an example of a poor touch. I remember this. He did have a simple pass to Salamakers, but that was a poor execution. And here shows very creative, almost, let's say, superstar level kind of play. Right here. Let's look at it again. Right there. Right there. Keeping the ball in that area, not losing the ball in that area, and doing that move, that quick roulette in the box. When you're marked by 2 defenders that are pretty close to you, in that area, you can get yourself penalties. You can get yourself good opportunities for passes, for assists, for shots. I want to see any of you guys do that. Can you guys do that at this level, at this pressure? Perfect movement, shields the ball, doesn't lose the ball, goes back, and Milan doesn't lose possession. That's what you want from your strikers. You don't want your strikers to lose possession. And that's what he does right there. He does not lose possession. He uses creative, high-level skills to not lose possession in a compact area. Okay, here, beautiful cross by Kalulu. Perfect cross by Kalulu. And right away, look at Daniel Maldini, where he is. So now, what does Daniel Maldini do? This defender here that is supposed to defend him is just not looking at him. Daniel Maldini exploits that. And he gets himself in front of the defender. So he anticipates the ball, anticipates the defender, jumps, strong, perfect executed header. And the goalkeeper cannot stop it. But look at his movement, getting in front of the defender right there. Boom. Leaving that defender alone. So, guys, 19 years old. The guy is not there because of his name. This kid is not here because of his name. This kid has talent. Maybe there's an element of to why the kid is here, and it maybe but he clearly has talent. This kid obviously plays football at a high level. He plays football at a high level. Anyway, let's keep on going. All right, and here now, this is after the goal. I realized he kind of started to get a little bit heavy, and they're starting to tackle him quite hard right there. And Kalulu, what a great cross. What a great cross from Kalulu also. Let's not forget Kalulu's involvement in that play. Kalulu with finally a really good cross. And here, an example of him winning the ball in that area right there. I mean, that is honestly for a coach, that is what you want to see, man. You want to see your strikers win the balls in that area, in the middle of the park, literally in the center circle of the park. So that's another really positive thing about Maldini and his potential. And then he does a good job at not losing the ball there. And then he gets subbed in. All right. I mean, this is a good player. Like, he is only 19, barely any experience. He is a really good player. He knows what he's doing. Now he just needs continuity. He needs to be able to do this over and over again until it becomes normal. Because eventually, the more you play, the more they figure you out, and they're able to stop you. So, being in a competition, being in a long-term competition, in these marathons that go on year after year, you always have to counter the counters. So, I mean, shit, guys, this is a really good player. This is a really good player. So hopefully he will be used correctly. All right, guys, that is the segment on on Daniel Maldini. It went well, pretty well. Let's go to Atletico Madrid, and let's finish it off with Atletico Madrid. All right, big game tomorrow. Really big game. I kind of think, this is just my opinion, I think if Milan does not win the game tomorrow, we thank you, DOA. Thank you, my man. If Milan does not win the game tomorrow, then all of a sudden going through is complicated. It's not impossible, but it's definitely complicated. Obviously, the best scenario is that we win and Porto ties or wins. That is the best scenario. Let's see. Jakob says we win. Save says, Roy, expect a match full of fouls, and also Suarez will be your most hated player in the world. Yeah, I know Suarez. I know Suarez. He's a nasty. He can be nasty. Tomorrow we need to get at least 1 point. At least 1 point. By us getting 1 point keeps Atletico Madrid closer to us. By us getting 1 point means that maybe if Liverpool win, Porto is at the same points as us, and then it becomes a race of 3. If we win tomorrow, we are in the race. We are in the race. If we don't win tomorrow, then we have to start to acknowledge that we're starting that at a certain point. It's not anymore about you. It's about what the other teams do. And you don't have the fate. It's not in your hands anymore. It's in the hands of your opponents. Do we really want to get it to that point? Do we have a choice? Maybe we do have a choice. Maybe tomorrow, AC Milan, with how Pioli and how he did his rotations, which I think came out a gem, if AC Milan can put on the pitch 11 players that are all match fit, ready to go, that are ready to immerse themselves in the aura and in the energy of the San Siro, and have a big Milan night like Milan has done so many times in the past, hey, maybe we can get the win. And if we get the win, we are in the race. We are in the race. Let's talk about the predicted lineups for tomorrow. Predicted lineup for tomorrow is 4-2-3-1, Magnan, Calabria, Kjaer, or Romagnoli, Tomori, Teo Hernandez. Let's just stop there for a second. Okay, Magnan has shown to be a super professional, reliable goalkeeper. No worries. Calabria, it's his second time playing this competition. I don't know. I don't know if he's ready. Guys, and the reason why I don't have the assurance I had, let's say, prior to the Liverpool game, is because I expected them to handle the pressure of the Anfield way better. And maybe I made a mistake in my calculations of how maybe it could take a little bit longer for these players to be ready for this kind of stage. And that's okay. It doesn't mean that it doesn't mean anything. It just means that we just got to wait a little bit longer for these players to be ready. That's all it means. But I definitely feel like I made a slight error in calculation, thinking that these players in their first experience, even in a field like Liverpool, would have handled the pressure with a little bit more control, but they didn't. Even a player like Kessie, that seems to be literally pressure resistant, press resistant, anything. He seems to be resistant to everything. Even Kessie suffered. Now, maybe a lot of times, in my personal experience, all it took was one game. All it took is one game, and then the next game you already know what you have to do and how you have to do it. And in the preparation to the next game, you prepare, and then in time you get better, right? All you need is one experience, and that one experience then prepares you for the next experience. Then those two experiences prepare you for the next experience. Then it becomes 3, then it becomes 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 100. 100. Okay? So it only takes one and the continuity of the rest. Let's see what you guys think. If we lose, we might as well play young player for the rest and just go full hard for the league. Fuck the Europa League. I do agree with you, Safe, because I think we have to win the Scudetto this year. We cannot mess up the Scudetto. We have to win the Scudetto. Roy, for any European superpower, it is impossible to be 100% confident in a jam-packed hellhole Anfield. Okay, I understand that, but if this Milan, like a ready Milan, would have not been overpowered like that. Let's say this same team with all these players, let's say 20 Champions League games in their pocket, this team would have got a team like that. Let me say it again. This exact team that you see here, okay, on the screen, that exact team, if all of these players had 20, let's say, Champions League matches in their belt, they could go to Anfield tomorrow and beat Liverpool. That's it. And I mean that. It's just you got to experience. You got to experience the atmosphere. You got to experience the pressure. You got to feel what it feels like in order to know what it will feel like, so you can be better prepared. That's my only. It's not a fear I have, because again, if we lose, whatever, we lose. It's still a good experience for the players. But my fear, I don't want to call it a fear. My worry at this moment in time is getting that second star. That is what I want, more than anything else. Tomori was the only player that showed that he can handle it. Maybe it's because he was used to it. Yes, Moab, absolutely. Tomori was a player that has played in England all his life. He's played Liverpool probably at every level, from the academy to the under 20s to the senior teams. He's been in that stadium. So for him, it's like, yeah, I've seen this, I've done that. You know, Vever players, for them, it's completely new atmosphere, new environment, feelings, emotions that they've never seen. They don't even have references to compare it with. You know, all right, win or lose. I just don't want us to end up in third position. Play. You know what? I kind of agree with you, Eastbourne. Like, I don't really care about the UEFA league so much this time, and it's not because I don't give it any prestige, because I actually do. I think that every time you play a competition, you should win it. But this year, because of this race we have with Inter, I just if we don't go through, I'd rather finish fourth and win the Scudetto. Win the Scudetto. I'm preparing for an irrelevant thing in my house to break because Suarez will get all my freaking nerves. Yes, Suarez is a player that is a world class player. But I mean, Milan has played against many world class players. I mean, we played against Ronaldo, guys. All right, it doesn't get any more world class than that, and we beat Ronaldo twice in his home, in his stadium, and him at our stadium. You know, I mean, Serie A has world class strikers that Milan plays against every very often, very often. So it's not like this guy is a demon god that we must fear. None of the Atletico Madrid are like demigods or whatever. All right. So the defense, if the defense performs and is able to synchronize with the spirit of the stadium and play an AC Milan game, then the defense should be good enough, whether it's Romagnoli or Kjaer. Romagnoli right now, I think, is good for any kind of game. Same with Kjaer, same with Tomori. Theo Hernandez showed us that he's developing, showed us that he is starting to be offensive. His punch is starting to hurt. He's not throwing jabs. He's not missing jabs. Now he's starting to throw punches, and they hurt. So it seems like Theo Hernandez is good to go. Theo Hernandez seems like he finally found his form. Let's see if he has. Tomorrow's going to be another test to see if he has. We know Tomori has found his form. We know Romagnoli has found his form. Kjaer had found his form when he was playing. Calabria looks like his form is there. Bagnin, his form is there. Tonali is the most informed player. So let's look at the midfield. Tonali, Kessie. Maybe it's Tonali, Kessie, or Benacer. Let's even include Benacer there. Tonali, the most informed AC Milan player, hands down. Him and Tomori, very similar in level of form. Tonali, as I was mentioning earlier, Tonali is one of these players that is allowing Milan to be unpredictable, because he's the player that has been designated the most to interchange into the defense when we play 3 at the back or 4 at the back or 2 at the back. He's always the guy that interchange. Well, not always, but many times he interchanges with the fullbacks to create that to not be predictable. So Tonali is the right choice for this game, in my opinion, based on the form that we have seen. Tonali should be playing this game. But the question really to me is Kessie or Benacer. Benacer looks ready to me. Both of these last 2 games, let's stick with these 2 last games because those are the 2 most relevant games. Benacer moved on that pitch like nobody could stop him. Like, he was creating, involved in everything. Benacer is super high energy on the ball. He always wants to be involved in every play. He's always being there, the extra man. His passes are passes that break split midfields in twos. I mean, Benacer is a fantastic midfielder. We're so lucky to have Benacer. He looks ready to go. So maybe Tonali, Benacer are the 2 most informed midfielders that we have. But we know the value of Kessie. We know that Kessie is potentially one of the best midfielders in the world, not just in Italy, but in the world. Kessie obviously had issues with form. It's obviously form, match fitness, and you see the players growing. You see the players growing. You literally see the growth of the players, the physical. So I mean, Kessie has played a lot of minutes now. The second half against Juve, he looked good. Against Venezia, he looked better. Against Spezia, he looked good against Spezia. But he's not at the form that we saw him last year. Kessie last year was absolutely the best midfielder in Serie A. It was him and Barella. I give it to Kessie. I thought Kessie was absolutely brilliant. If maybe against Atletico Madrid, we finally get that Kessie. You know, if we get that Kessie, if finally after all these minutes that he's played, and his physique is in tune with his mind, and he can perform at those high levels, then hopefully we get back Kessie. I don't know, guys. I don't know if that's going to happen though, because I do believe that Bennacer is more ready. Anyway, let's keep on moving ahead. These are the games where he'll be eyed on. Yeah, that is true. We're definitely going to look at him, especially now with this contract situation. We're definitely going to be looking at Kessie, and we're going to be he's an easy fish to catch right now. Last season, Kessie was the second best player in the league after Lukaku. I would arguably say that. Yeah, he's definitely in that category. Need you to make a repeat scoring that amazing goal against Atletico last season. I did not see that goal. Okay, so let's keep on talking about the rest. Okay, so now the triad. Salamakers, Diaz, Leao. I mean, right now that is the best we have. Salamakers in these two last games turned into freaking Ronaldinho. All right. I mean, against Venezia, the guy decided to embody Ronaldinho by dribbling through players and creating chances, and he got that second assist. He had two super plays. And he got the second assist. But against Spezia, he got the assist that has counted the most so far. The most important play that has happened in AC Milan right now in the Serie A from game day 1 till game day 6, I think it was 6, is Salamaker's assist to Brahim Diaz. And Salamakers is all over the pitch. I mean, the guy is not a right winger. He's a what is that? What is that? What is this position that he's playing? Like, the guy is everywhere. He is on the left. He's on the right. He's on the center left, center right. He's in the middle. He covers the whole damn pitch. What is this position that he's playing? Like, I honestly don't know what to call it. I guess it's attacking midfielder, but his on paper he starts on the right. I don't know what it is. Is he a number 10? I mean, he's not. Okay, the last two games he played, he did what a number 10 is supposed to do, but he's everywhere. The guy is everywhere. I don't know what to call his position. All right. Anyway, so he's the best that we have right there. If he can bring that to the San Siro, he's a slick cat. He's a slick cat because he knows how to. He's not intimidated by the fans. After he did that assist, if you watch that celebration after he did the assist to Brahim Diaz, he's there, one-on-one with the fans, raising his arms, kind of going, "Yo, what's up? Did you see what I did?" So he's cool with the fans. So that's also positive, shows character, shows personality. In Saladinho, we trust. Rebic has to realize that tomorrow he is the key. He has to be on point with being clinical, not only with his finishing, but his ball controls as well. Well said, Saif. And we'll get into that. Love his energy and love for the club. Yeah. Okay, so Salamakers right now, I don't know in what kind of form he is. It looks stellar. I mean, I don't know. Let's see. Let's hope that he does the same thing tomorrow. Okay, then we have Diaz. I mean, let's okay, obviously this is most likely not going to happen. But if Diaz keeps scoring at this rate, he's probably going to finish the campeonato in the top 5 of scorers. But I don't think he's going to. I don't think this rate is going to continue. Hopefully it does. Hopefully it does. Whether it's assists or goals, he just needs to get double digits. But Rebic has the opportunity this season to get double digits with both assists and goals. If he can do that this season, including both competitions, Champions League, all competitions, Champions League, Coppa Italia, and Scudetto, if he can accumulate double digits, I think in terms of progression, it would be a fantastic season for Diaz. So let's see if he can do that. Obviously, Diaz is Spanish. He knows a lot of these players, maybe from playing with them when he was younger in the academies, in the national team. So he probably knows what he's going up against. Like Saladinho, in Diaz we trust. If Messias is not back by 3rd, then it's a joke, says Skillard. Messias is in vacanze. He's almost 30. I'm going to talk a little bit. We can talk a little bit about Messias. I'm going to keep on talking about the players in the team for tomorrow, and then we'll talk a little bit about the other players. But okay, so Diaz tomorrow is going to be very important. Diaz is very good at coming in deep. Oh, something that Paolo Maldini didn't do, but Diaz does. Sorry, Daniel Maldini. Diaz likes to come in deep in the midfield line, literally on the midfield line, collect the ball, and then start playmaking from there. You see, Daniel Maldini didn't do that, but also Pioli in the post said that he was asking Daniel Maldini to stay up, stay close to the last line of the defense. So that's probably why he didn't do it. I wonder what he looks like when the coach tells him to do that. All right, so Diaz should be one of our key players tomorrow. Leao, another 22-year-old. Last game kind of had the same impact Theo Hernandez had in the game before that. Came in and just his speed and his ability to lose the man. And we guys, listen, we don't want to sound like we knew it, but we did. We always said here on this channel that if you put Leao on that left wing and let him use his strengths, his strength is to create space with his agility, with his dribbling, with his technique, and with his power burst. Leao has great power bursts. His power bursts are top notch. That's why with two strides, 3 strides, he can, and one touch of the ball, he can get past 1 or 2 players. Put him in that position, the guy is going to be devastating. And this is what we're seeing. I think Leao right now is 100% turning out to be the player that, let's say, a lot of us hoped he would turn out to be. Right now, that seems to be the trajectory. That seems to be the trajectory. All right, so now let's move on to Rebic. Of course, we don't have Giroud. We don't have Ibrahim. I mean, Giroud, we do have him, but we have him, from what I saw, to me, Giroud looked like he was 40%. In this last game, to me, Giroud looked like he was 40%. Rebic is 100%. Of course, Pioli is going to go with Rebic. It's not even a question. There is absolutely no chance in hell that Giroud is starting tomorrow. Based on what I saw on Venezia, and even maybe I'm being a little bit arrogant, but with my experience in coaching, there's no chance in hell Giroud is starting the game tomorrow. No chance in hell. It is 100% going to be Rebic. 100%. But Giroud is probably going to be used, and he's going to be probably used in the second half, something like that. But against Spezia, they didn't just take out Giroud because of rotational purposes. They took out Giroud because they needed someone that could could offer more motion, more movement, more explosivity. And Pellegrini is a youngster, 20-year-old. Guys, Pellegrini, this 20-year-old, we said he's got the physique of a 27-year-old at 20. Pellegrini, if Pellegrini is fit, of course, you're going to probably prefer to put Pellegrini there. But anyway, we don't have Pellegrini tomorrow for the game, so we have Rebic. And yes, absolutely. I would like for Leao to get 10 plus goals this season, personal best. I think he can get double digits in goals, Leao. He's got to start, though. He's got to start putting them in. He can get even maybe double digit. Ideally, if, let's say, I was looking at the numbers of this team from a coaching perspective, ideally what I would want is for my line of three here, Diaz, Leao, Salamakers, to be all three players that can guarantee you double digits on both assists and goals every year. And then your striker, your lone striker, has to guarantee you at least 20 goals and at least a bunch of assists. And that's not even much, guys. That is not even much. That's just like 50 goals. That's just 50 goals. You know, but, and you know, this is something that Lucas, and I do give him, I know Lucas comes on this channel a lot. He talks a lot of crap and he pisses a lot of people off. He says a lot of things that he likes to push buttons. But Lucas, when Lucas says that Napoli has enough offensive threat that is dangerous, it is true. It is true. Just two players in that roster can guarantee you 20 goals each. Both and good. We can really guarantee both Insigne and Osimhen. That's 40 goals. Then you have Politano can give you 10 goals. That's 50. Then you have Lozano can give you 10 goals. That's 60. You have Mertens when he's back. He can give you 10 goals. That's 70. Pitania can give you 10 goals. That is 80. Then all the other, Fabian Ruiz, Zielinski, Koulibaly, all these players can give you a lot of goals. Napoli has 100 goals in their arsenal. Do we have 100 goals in our arsenal? That's a good question to ask. That is a good question to ask. Do we have 100 goals in our arsenal? Okay. In order for us to have 100 goals in our arsenal, we need a fully fit Ibrahimovic. Well, we're never going to have a fully fit Ibrahimovic, so there goes that. We need to have a fully fit. We need to have Giroud play a lot of games. I don't know. I'm not even going to get into this. We don't have 100 goals. Napoli does have 100 goals in their arsenal, but you don't need to score 100 goals to win the Serie A. You have to score many goals, but also not concede many goals. And Napoli is not conceding many goals. Anyway, I don't want to make this into a Napoli versus Milan situation. All right. And then, so Rebic, I think this is the best team we can have at this current moment, finishing on our probable formation. This is, we have 100 goals in Ibra and Giroud in one season. So you think that Ibra and Giroud can score 50 goals each in one season? Come on, Paul, man. That's ridiculous. You need lots of players to score many goals in order to have 100 goals. I mean, fuck. I think was Messi, Neymar, and Suarez. Those three had something like 60 goals altogether in one season. 60 goals just from three players is crazy, guys. Those are crazy numbers. And they probably had more than 60. 25 goals from Casti. 11 more from Krunic. Our goals are pretty well distributed. All right. Okay. So Milan, AC Milan. Let's not diverge too much. All right. So that's AC Milan. Now, guys, here I am going to ask your help. I want to know your opinions because I know a lot of you are much more knowledgeable on international football than I am. as far as other clubs, other teams, other players, etc., etc. As many of you guys know, I don't give a flying F about other leagues. I only follow the Serie A, and I only care club level wise for AC Milan. Even though some of you guys think there's another club I care for. But anyway, let's look at the probable Atletico Madrid formation. 4-4-2. Oblak, Trippier, Jimenez, Hermoso, Lodi. I know Trippier. The guy does not impress me at all. I know Oblak. Okay. He's a goalkeeper. I don't know Jimenez. I don't know Hermoso. So I cannot judge on those two players. Lodi, Lorente, Kondogbia, Koke. I don't know who Lodi is. I cannot judge him. I do not know who Lorente is. I know who Kondogbia is. That does not worry me at all. I know who Koke is. Good player, but player that you got to watch out for. Carrasco, I know him very well. He's okay. He's good. He can, if he finds the right spaces, he can punish you. He's definitely a player that you got to defend and you got to watch out for. I have no clue who Correa is. I definitely know who Suarez is. Top-notch striker. So it's an okay team. I mean, I'm sure that Atletico Madrid love all of these players and they think that these players are fantastic. Blah 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 blah. But this should not be a team that scares us. This is like any other of the top 4 teams in Serie A. It's that level. It's a top 4 Serie A team level. So we are a top 4 Serie A team level. So we are the same level as far as technical and footballing in the footballing language. But experience is a big part of it. All right, so guys, let's see what you guys are saying. Let's see if you guys can tell me some secrets about this team that I don't know. If we play Krunic, yes, we can. 5 from Conte. What a defense they have. Okay, so Joel is very familiar with their defense. To me, that defense didn't say much. It didn't say much. Eastbourne, Aleko Germany, Jean Oblak, Kieran Trippier. Okay. Koke Resurrection. They have DePaul in there, right? But for some reason, he's not in the predicted lineups. Gonna be hard beating Oblak, probably best goalkeeper in the world, along with Donnarumma. Okay, so Saif thinks that Oblak is one of the best in the world. Interesting. Their defense bar right back is quality, according to Labs Marts. What's up? Saif says, trying to get past Oblak is going to be a nightmare, man. I can already see it. Okay, guys, but goalkeepers are good if the defense does their job. If you can break down the defense and you can put the ball where the goalkeeper, no matter who it is, whether it's Donnarumma, whether it is Courtois, put the ball where the goalkeeper can't reach, no problem. So why would I know Oblak? Why should we worry about Oblak? We must not give Suarez any form of space. If we neutralize him, he is useless. Can't even pass well anymore. Okay, interesting. So Suarez right now is probably not being very impressive in La Liga. I do want to say David Villa, the Spanish attacker who was also played for Barcelona, was super fast. I saw him live in the US when he played in the EPL, not in the EPL, in the MLS. It was New York against LA. I don't even know the names of it. Like, I don't give a crap about the LA. What are they called? I don't even know what they're called. LA something against New York or something. And Villa was in the game. He did not impress me at all. So maybe these players are just getting older and they're not impressive. Okay, so Saif says that we shouldn't worry about Suarez if we play him right. Lodi, mistake, caused Brazil to lose the Copa America title to Argentina, so it's not good. Okay, so Lodi is that Brazilian defender that caused that mistake. Okay. I see now. I'm starting to connect some dots, seeing some references. Saif, number 99 is a bench warmer. I don't consider him the best in the world. Mario Hermoso is reckless and can cause a penalty. I do not know that player. Rebic has to be a menace. Okay, so to try to dribble in the defense, can get yourself a penalty. They also have João Felix. I do know João Felix. João Felix, if he is on form, can be a very dangerous player. But if João Felix is not on form, it's a very player to play against. It's a very easy player to play against. So is he on form or not on form? João Felix is the kind of player that if he has the ball, he's difficult to play against. But if he doesn't have the ball, then he's okay. Llorente and Carrasco are my only concerns, especially Carrasco, the best player so far. So Carrasco is a very tricky player, a creative player, unpredictable with his moves. So you got to be really close to him. You got to be body to body on him. The thing about defending correctly is that you don't necessarily need to steal the ball from a defender. All you have to really do in order to dirty an attacker's offensive play is just by putting him off balance just a little bit. Because every time you kick the ball, every time you designate the ball to somewhere, it's not just your leg that does the movement, it's your whole body that does the movement. And your whole body has to do the right movement in order for the ball to go where it needs to go. So all you have to do sometimes is just dirty their body movements just a little bit, and that will put him off just enough for you to defend them literally by the edge of a razor. And that is what you want to do against these players. And then obviously the first touch. These players, these wingers, one thing they're very good at is peeling off defenders and then receiving the ball on their first touch in space. If you minimize the space of the first touch, obviously quality players are still going to probably do the correct first touch in the right space, but you can still then not say stop the player, but minimize the danger of the player, meaning the player is just going to use that first touch to pass it back to a midfielder and to continue the possession rather than trying to create an offensive play. So you can also defend by doing that. Llorente and Carrasco are my only concerns, especially Carrasco, are the best player so far. Yep. I'm most worried about it. Milan was planning to sign in Correa as a trequartista under Giampaolo, but he's nothing special, trust me. Atletico Madrid form is poor. I'm not worried about them. All right. Zion train. Confident. Guys, you watch Atletico Madrid right now. I will never, ever, ever, ever in my life watch Atletico Madrid unless it's a Champions League final or a semi-final, or we're playing against an Italian team in the Champions League, or we're playing against Milan. Otherwise, I will never watch ever Atletico Madrid playing Spain. I will not waste my time doing that. With all due respect, I say that with all due respect, Atletico Madrid is a fantastic club, a club that deserves a lot of respect. I do not say that with disrespect. I just do not have the time to consume with sports. If we're up to, I don't see them doing making a comeback. Correa wasted so many chances. Roy, if we are 1-0 up, then we should congratulate each other because there is zero chance they could come back. Okay, if you think so. I'm going to refrain from commenting that. Tomorrow, I'm going to learn who Atletico Madrid is, and I will judge you. I know, but by looking at that sheet of paper, that team is literally the equivalent of a regular top 4, top 5 Serie A team. That is our home. We play against these teams often, and we win against these teams often. But of course, Champions League is a whole different story, whole different environment, set of emotions. João Felix is nothing special. La Liga teams can't defend unlike Serie A teams. These guys only look good in La Liga. Well, João Felix is a very good player. I wouldn't say he's nothing special. Koke is regarded as a top 3 best passer in La Liga. No, Koke is international. Koke is a very good player. Koke is an expert player in possession. He is one of the experts in this world today. There are many experts, but he's one of them. We have some experts too. Do we have experts? Is Benacer ready to be called an expert? I mean, Koke is now obviously much older. I mean, he's not. Oh, I don't know how old he is, to be honest with you, but I'm assuming he's 27 and up. I'm assuming anything above 27. I think. I don't know. But at this point, Koke is definitely a player that knows what he's doing in the middle of the park. Spanish players are the best. The Spanish football, Spanish academy is the best in the world at possession. So all these guys have been learning their whole life how to hold the ball. Is Griezmann not featuring? Honestly, I don't know. Let's see. I got these from an article here. From the Sempre Milan article, and I wanted to finish it on this article and talk a little bit about this article because it gives us a synopsis of how the teams are coping right now with their various injuries and situations. So let's see what this article says. Sempre Milan. But I do want to finish what you guys are saying because you guys are more interesting. You guys are more interesting than that. Hello, Bello Mohammed. Bello Mohammed, guys. Bello. Hi, Bello. Griezmann is in poor form and doesn't even look like a 25 million player now, says Saif. Okay. Greece is shit, says DOA7. I think he's past Barca uploaded him. I wonder if that does affect his psychology. It takes a little bit of time to transition from one environment to the other, especially when your extraction from environment A was traumatic. All right. Atletico Madrid deserves respect, but they are nothing to fear. I don't fear them, and Milan can beat them. Zion Train, fear, you must never fear nobody. Nothing. It's not about fear. It's about, it doesn't matter if you go there with courage. It honestly doesn't matter. What matters tomorrow is our spirit. Because we know for a fact they have more experience than us in this competition. They have played a second round game of the Champions League 20 times more times than we have with this current team. That is not a matter of fear or a matter of anything. That is just a statistic, a mathematical fact that you cannot just not use in your calculations when predicting the outcome of this game. That is too important of a statistic. Therefore, Milan should not fear Atletico Madrid. Milan should not fear anybody. Milan objective should be that they fear us. Milan tomorrow needs to find the spirit of the San Siro, play a smart, intelligent game. They must not suffer the pressure of the event, the pressure of the theater. They must not suffer that. They must be focused, determined. They must play with courage. They have to play fast. Their decision-making has to be fast. And that's one of the big differences between the Champions League, Europe, and Serie A. Europe and any other league, even probably the English league. When the stakes are high, when the competition is so prestigious, everything is faster, everything is more precise, everything is sharper, the show is bigger. So Milan has to be able to counter the elements that are going to be thrown at them. I do not fear them. I just wonder if they can do them just yet. I hope so. But whether I believe or don't, it doesn't matter, because I'm not the one that worked with the team I'm not the one on the pitch kicking the ball. I'm just watching and deliberating my opinions. So it doesn't matter if I am fearful or not. What matters tomorrow is what I said earlier. In my opinion, Atalanta doesn't have much experience when they qualify for the second round and beat an experienced team like Liverpool. Milan has more prestige in history than UCF and Atalanta. Let that sink in. I mean, that is a good calculation. That is a good calculation. But I do want to push back a little bit on that. Atalanta, even though they don't have experience in the Champions League, they do have experience with players in the national teams. We don't have that. We don't even have that. Out of the AC Milan players that played in this Euro, how many played? Kjaer, Giroud, Rebic, and then Donnarumma. He wasn't even a Milan player. So, the international experience counts. We are youngsters. We are younglings that have just hatched out of the egg. That is too important to just not put in consideration. Hey, but I admire your courage for tomorrow. I admire it. Simeone is more conservative than Klopp. I don't think he will press as hard with his front players, but they will be very well drilled and disciplined. They will be dangerous at the counter. Okay. I'm waiting for the day when we would start Tonali Benacer Kassi. That would be amazing. It could work at 3. I just hope Suarez doesn't bite anyone tomorrow. We are already in critical state with so many injuries. At the moment, play with 4-4-2 like Liverpool and Juve against us. They find more space in midfield. We must play with 3 center midfielders, Benacer, Tonali, and Kassi, to control the game. Well, we're definitely not going to do that, Ahmed. So I don't know what to say about that. I hope he doesn't bite tomorrow or Manin. Hernandez is ready for tomorrow. All right, guys, listen. Let's see. I want the team to be ready for tomorrow. I think it's possible. I think it's very possible. Okay. Let's go over this article. Let's see if this Sempre Milan article has anything interesting to say about tomorrow's game. Milan will welcome Champions League football back to the San Siro for the first time in 7 years when they welcome Madrid Tuesday night. Milan come into the game full of confidence, having won 5 out of their opponent's opening 6 matches in the league to put them behind only Napoli in second place, but they must respond in Europe after losing to Liverpool in the first group game. Head coach Stefano Pioli highlighted in his pre-match press conference what he believes is a gap between the Rossoneri and Europe's elite sides, while Diego Simeone fired some praise back to Milan in his. Okay. All right. So I don't know what they said. Actually, if you guys saw the press conferences and you can tell me on the chat what Pioli said about tomorrow's game, that'd be great. Milan come into the game right in the crest of a wave after back-to-back league wins, their most recent being a character-testing 2-1 victory at Spezia over the weekend. However, they come into this game with some slight selection doubts. Zlatan Ibrahimovic, Timur Bakayoko, and Rade Krunic are expected to be out of the game with their respective Achilles and muscle issues. So only 3 players are named here with injury issues. Simon Kjaer and Alessandro Florenzi trained with the squad on Monday, suggesting they will be called up. Good, we need the depth. While Davide Calabria returned to the fold during the win, as did Oliver Giroud. Masai is still not match fit. So essentially right now we have Zlatan, Bakayoko, who was the third one? And Krunic that are injured, and Messias that is not fit. It's not that bad. Honestly, it's not that bad. Giroud is not match fit, though. And Pellegrini is not of this match. So offensively, maybe it could be better. According to Sky, Pioli is expecting to field Milan Mike Magnin in goal, with Calabria and Kaya to return to the starting 11 and right side of the defense, which will be completed by Ficaio Tomori and Teo Hernandez. Sandro Antonali and Frank Kessie should be the double pivot, with Alexis Salamakers, Bram Diaz, and Rafael Leao making up the attacking trident behind Ante Rebic, who is anticipated as a forward. Yes, this is exactly what I said. Center forward with Giroud, not yet at 100%, so it has to be Rebic. Tomorrow, Rebic is starting for sure. Romagnoli will play if Chiara is not 100%, so they're going to probably decide tomorrow. Or I wonder if it decided today already. The opponents, and this is the juicy stuff, because this is the stuff that I don't know. I don't like not knowing. I do not like not knowing. Teo will score against his former team. No, is this Teo's former team? Wait, would you rather start Chiara or Romagnoli tomorrow? I personally would start Roma since he has more match fitness. I mean, Romagnoli, we know he has match fitness. I don't know if Chiara's stop was enough for him to break his match fitness, but Chiara also seemed to be match fit up until the Juventus game. The logical mind would probably say Romagnoli is a better choice. Therefore, because we know for a fact that he's fitter. Yeah, Teo was in Atletico Academy. Okay, it was his first team, guys. Learn something new every single day. He played in the Atletico youth team. All right. Okay. As after mentioned, Atletico Madrid were the champions of La Liga for the 11th time last season, finishing above their city rivals Real Madrid by 2 points after winning 26 of their 38 league games and losing just 4. Not bad, not bad. They have started with a bit of a stutter so far in 21-22, winning just once in their last 5 games across all competitions. Wow, that's a really poor start. That is a really poor start. I hope their form doesn't change with us, but that's a really poor start, including a 0-0 home draw to Porto in their first UCL group game. Nonetheless, this is a season Champions League team that are a match for nearly everyone on their day. Yes, we do know that. That is Simeone right there. Okay, now here a little bit of information on the team. Center back Stefan Savic is serving a European suspension. Okay, so we don't have to worry about Savic. Jose Gimenez is expected to step in for him. So Gimenez is a second line. Okay, so we know that they're defending with a second line defender on what could have well be a back four as opposed as the 3-man defense seen plenty this season. Thomas Lemar, who we know is a very offensive, dangerous player, is back in the squad after being out for almost 2 weeks. Okay, that can stop you. Joao Felix was not injured, but he was out for the last 2 matches for Athletic and Liga due to a suspension. Okay, so Joao Felix could easily play. He's probably been trained. There's no problem with him. He's probably been training at 100%. So Joao Felix is a dangerous player they could use. Lemar is probably not 100% match fit. To say these are 2 European heavyweights, there has not been a great deal of meeting between the sides to go off. Nonetheless, Atletico certainly had the edge over the Rossoneri, as they have an impressive record against the Italians and have won both matches. So we have to change that trend. Okay, we have to change that trend. To say the last meeting between the 2 teams took place in 2013 and 14 season, ended in a 4-1 victory over Atletico Madrid at their old home in the Vicente Calderon. That was the second leg of the Champions League 16 tie, with Atleti having won the first game 1-0. Guys, they beat us 5-1 on aggregate. That is unacceptable. We cannot allow them to continue that or to even use that as a power source for them to extract from, and thinking, hey man, this team, we destroyed them last time. Not good. We have to change the trend immediately. Tomorrow is a must-win game. Tomorrow is a must-win game. The 4-1 second leg against was Milan last game in the competition. Our last game in this competition was against these guys. We have to win tomorrow. We have to win. Tomorrow's a must-win. Match stats. Milan and Atletico Madrid only previous meeting came in 2013-2014 Champions League, where the Italian side lost both legs and were eliminated in the round. Oh, that's the one I just read. This will be Atletico Madrid's first away game against Italian position in the UEFA Champions League under Diego Simeone. Since winning the first of these, 1-0 versus Milan, Atletico have failed to win each of the last 4 without scoring a goal. So Atletico Madrid has struggled against Italian teams. Very interesting, guys. Very interesting. Milan have only won one of their last 17 games against Spanish opponents in the European competition. That is incredible. Draw 7, lost 9. That is a terrible statistic. While they're winless in the 7 games since the only victory in this run, 2-0 versus Barcelona. That is a terrible stat. Milan needs to do something about that. Terrible stat. Oh my God, that's an embarrassing stat. Atletico Madrid have only failed to win their opponent 2 games of the UEFA Champions League campaign on the previous occasion under Diego Simeone, drawing 0-0 against Roma. Man, if you can't score, if you can't beat Roma in the Champions League, guys, this should be a walk in the park. And losing 1-2 to Chelsea in the 2018 tournament. Milan have only kept 1 clean sheet in their last 10 home games in European competition, 3-0 versus Sparta Praga. With all of those coming in the UEFA Europa League, this will be their first home game in the UEFA Champions League since the 0-1 defeat to Atletico Madrid. We have to win this game. Atletico have lost 5 of their last 9 away games in the UEFA Champions League. Okay, so 1-3 tied 1. So away, Atletico Madrid does not have a great record. It's a 60-40% record, more so a 65-35. While their previous 5 defeats on the road in the competition came over a run of 18 games, 6 wins, 7 ties. Antoine Griezmann is Atletico Madrid's all-time top scorer in the European Cup, 21 goals, and could also become their outright top scorer in away games if he finds the net in this game, currently on 5. So Griezmann just picking off where he left off many years ago, or a few years ago. In their defeat at Anfield on MD1, Brahim Diaz, 22, 43 days, become the youngest player to score on his UEFA Champions League debut for AC Milan since Johan Gourcuff in September 2006. All right, okay. A little bit of trivia about Brahim Diaz and AC Milan. The last player to score on his first 2 UEFA Champions League appearances for Milan was teammate Zlatan Ibrahimovic, who did so back in September 2010. All right, so Brahim Diaz getting himself in the record books. Atletico Madrid attempted just 6 shots and recorded average goal total of 0.3 in their last game against FC Porto. This was their lowest goal average game total in the UEFA Champions League since May 2017. All right, so it is obviously clear that Atletico Madrid right now is going through a negative period. It is, okay. Guys, I am finally aware of that. I know many of you have been trying to put that in my head, but now we know. DOA says, Simone is an Interista. He's always motivated to beat us. Okay. They also lost the UCL final in San Siro, so maybe they have PTSD in the stadium. They lost the final in the San Siro. Our Milan team 2003-14 sucked, says Zion Train. It freaking sucked. Okay, let's finish this article. We're almost done with the article. Ones to watch. If Milan are to get a positive result out of this, the defensive duo of Calabria and Chiara will have to slot seamlessly into the back 4 again in order to cope with the threat that Atletico pose, while the midfield double pivot of Kessie and Tonali will have to do their job in protecting them. All right. The players who will draw a lot of attention are likely in attack, though. Brahim Diaz and Rebic. Yeah, well, we know this. We want to find out about Atletico Madrid, so we can skip the Milan part. We know very well what Milan's weapons are. I want to know what the weapons of my enemy are, because only by knowing the weapons of my enemy, I can counter them and stop them. For Simeone, this is okay. Here we go. For Simeone's men, there is no shortage of quality in each department. Starting in goal, where Joan Oblak stands between the posts as potentially the best in his position in the world. Damn, so much respect to this goalkeeper. I mean, come on. The same can be said for center back Jose Jimenez. I thought this guy was coming in as a second line in the center back role, as he has been a rock for Atletico, while midfielder Marcos Llorentes, who they signed from rivals Real Madrid, continues to develop into a world-class player. All right. I mean, that's what top 4 teams in every league do. That's what we are. That's what a lot of teams we face are. In the forward department, the presence of Luis Suarez will cause headaches, as he is a proven performer in the competition, and João Felix is a real talent in the attacking midfielder position. Okay, we know that these two players are dangerous players. Prediction, according to Sempre Milan, and they give us a scoring prediction too. Let's see what they say. This is a real battle of a team who are high on confidence but short on Champions League experience versus a team struggling domestically compared to their usual high standards, but with plenty to know-how on the European stage. I think that is a perfectly well descriptive reality of the two teams facing each other. I'm going to repeat that one more time. This is real battle of a team who was high on confidence, not just high on confidence, but a team that is very talented, but short on Champions League experience versus a team struggling domestically compared to the usual standards, but with plenty of know-how on the European stage. Could it be that they cancel each other out? Prediction, AC Milan 1, Atletico Madrid 1, according to Sempre Milan. So this is what they say. This is what they think. It gave us a little bit of insight. Insight is always good. Know your enemy. Know your opponents. So there you have it, guys. There you have it. Atletico Madrid, AC Milan. A clash of clashes. A clashes for the ages. Okay. So, guys, what do you think? What do you think is going to happen? What are your predictions? Let me change this. Let's go back to tactical solutions. What are your guys' predictions for tomorrow? Do we want to do predictions? Should we do predictions? If Kessie has a turn match and I don't see any motivation from him, he's done in my books, not going to lie. Well, let's see. Kessie might have a brilliant game tomorrow. Let's hope he does. Let's really hope he does. They also lost. All right. So I guess I'll go with my final thoughts on this game. The team is obviously going through a rough period. There's no doubt about that. Atletico Madrid right now is a wounded animal, and we are not a wounded animal. But we are an unexperienced animal against an experienced wounded animal. So I think that tomorrow we have a good chance of winning, actually, guys. If I am trying to balance out all these facts, all this information that has been thrown my way, and I am to balance it out, I kind of give it to AC Milan a little bit. Because now I do know and also acknowledge that even though you can be going through a poor moment of form, but then in a different setting, in a competition like the Champions League, players get different kind of motivations, and all of a sudden a team that has been off can switch on. That is possible that might happen tomorrow with Atletico Madrid. But what we do know, according to all the information that we have, Atletico Madrid is going through a very poor moment, while Liverpool, on the other hand, is going for a very good moment. It's going for a very good moment. So, question, the great question of the day: is Milan going to be prepared to face opponents with more experience than them, but not only just face them, but rather crush them? Crush them because to keep the honor of AC Milan high, obviously losing 5-1 aggregate the last time you played in this competition against this team is something that we need to fix. We have the stadium in our favor. We have the form in our favor. We have a lot of talent. We have the youth. We don't have the experience. Balance. Where's the balance? Is experience enough to tip the balance off to Atletico Madrid, or is current form heavier? Only one way to find out: by looking at the score line tomorrow. Okay. Let's see what your predictions are, guys. Give me predictions. I want to see predictions because we're about to close the stream. By the way, everybody, thank you for joining me today. We went over Spezia, we went over Daniel Maldini, and now Atletico Madrid. Thank you for being here with us. Please like the stream, guys. We need you to like, because the more you like, the better it is for the algorithm, and then the channel grows. And then when we do our Milan Forum and our Red and Black Sundays, more people can join. More people can enjoy this channel altogether. So please help the channel grow. So let's go to predictions, guys. We're going to finish off with your predictions. Let me hear your predictions. Please speak how 4-2-3-1 can stop 4-4-2 tactically. Prediction 2-1. Please speak how 4-2-3-1 can stop a 4-4-2 tactically. Okay, well, all right. So we can spend a little bit of time on that. I mean, a 4-2-3-1 doesn't stop a 4-4-2, and a 4-4-2 doesn't stop a 4-2-3-1. Like, there's no formation that stops another formation. It's mostly about how you interpret your formation, and how your defensive posture is really the key to winning a football match. Is your defensive posture, whether you can do it, and it has to be a tight, compact, united outfit. Your defensive posture is the most important thing. So you can have a very compact and difficult to break down 4-4-2, and you can have a very compacted and difficult to break down 1-3-2-4. It's really how good you are at making that formation compacted, closing the channels, and making it very difficult for your opponents to lure you out from the positions, to open you up, and then just go through you. So it's not really what formation is best against which formation. It's how good are you at interpreting your own formation. So I think that's really how it is. Now, as far as breaking them down, well, let's do this. Let's do this. As far as breaking down a formation, a 4-4-2 formation, well, let's look at them. Let's look at what a 4-4-2 formation looks like. So that's a 4-4-2. 7-8-4, that's perfect. 4-4-2. And this is a 4-2-3-1. . So in a 4-2-3-1, what we discovered against Atletico Madrid and what we discovered against Liverpool and in the first half against Juventus is that there are these diagonal channels that are kind of easy to break through if you don't defend correctly. And we saw Liverpool and Juventus exploit these channels, basically the channel between your pivot midfielder and the winger, the attacking midfielder winger. So in order to make these channels more compact, the team had to close in a little bit more centrally and close those channels up. And then we saw also the defenders don't defend in a line. They defend more with the two fullbacks. This is when the opposition has the ball in this area and we are all behind the ball. So the adjustment that we saw Pioli make was just to close everybody in and then try and keep that shape. And with Brahim Diaz moving left to right and helping with this channel, center channel, or this channel, we do not see Brahim Diaz help in these channels, in the outer channels. The outer channels is usually between the winger and the fullback, and sometimes the pivots. But the attacking midfielder, you don't see them help in the outer channels. You see them help in the inner channels, 1, 2, 3. If we close those channels down, it's going to be very difficult for them. It's going to be difficult for them. Now, let's go straight into a 4-4-2. A 4-4-2 is just two lines. Honestly, I haven't seen Real Madrid play, so I don't know if it's a pure 4-4-2 or a 4-4-1-1 or a variation of a 4-4-2. I'm just assuming it's a regular 4-4-2, so we're just going to go by that information. It's always the same thing. How do you break through their channels and find players in between the lines and then attack them forward? If you break the midfield channel of a team, meaning you get the ball between the channels through these channels, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You have 5 channels that you can exploit. I'm assuming that the second striker, I'm assuming I don't know who it is. If it's Griezmann, it's Griezmann. I don't know who the other one is probably going to do the same thing that Brahim Diaz. He's going to help with closing down these channels. So we have to just be fast and we have to be patient. I think both teams are going to struggle puncturing each other. So it has to be a patient game in which we squash them down. Because that's what they're going to allow us to do. They're going to allow us to squash them down in their own half. And our whole team is going to be in their half, trying to be patient, move the ball patiently, and then find a quick 1-2. Like, for example, in this particular team, because we don't have a Giroud, because we don't have a Ibra, I wouldn't even waste my time with crosses. I would do exactly what we did against Liverpool. Play those quick combinations in front of the box, those 1-2s between Leao, Brahim, and Rebic and Salamakers. Basically, the quartet. That quartet has to play quick combinations together on the ground and find the quick 1-2s through the channels and one touch shots. That's how I with the information I have, that's how I would see AC Milan doing well. With the crosses, I don't know. Rebic is not a player that connects with crosses very well. We don't even have players that are really good at crossing the ball, aside from maybe Calabria and Theo Hernandez. But we don't have a target man, so I wouldn't even waste my time with that kind of game. The problem is that, of course, we know that Simeone likes to play on the counter. He likes to counterattack. And meaning counterattack means that you play direct football, meaning that in order to get from point A to point B, instead of going here, there, then back here, then here, then here, it just means 1, 2, 2, and 3 goal, right? That's direct counterattack football. If we can set ourselves up that we always have 3 in the back, maybe that's the best thing. I wonder if, okay, so something to look out for tomorrow. I want to see what Pioli does. If Pioli is just going to keep the same 3 in the back for the whole defensive time, meaning he's probably going to sacrifice Calabria and ask Calabria to stay low, or he's going to do the same thing that he's been doing this whole season, even against Liverpool, just change it up all the time. At this point, I'm almost confident to say that he's going to do the same thing. He's going to change it up. He's going to try and attack. I think he's going to try and attack Atletico Madrid. He's going to go in for the kill, straight for the jugular. All right. Anyway, that's enough information for that. Let's move on. Leao and Tonali, goal 2-0. Okay. First, Chiara is just returning from injury. That's very risky, especially against a physical team. Yeah, I think Romagnoli is the safer bet. 2-1 for Milan. Other than a win, will make it very, very hard to get through. They have to take all the advantages. And actually, yes, you're right. We are going to get chances. They are going to get chances. We have to prevent them from finishing their chances, and we have to prevent them from allowing them to prevent us from finishing our chances, meaning we have to take our chances. 2-1 for Milan, DOA says. Second, Kessie is out from while Benacer is on form. Second, Kessie is out of form while Benacer is on form, almost close back to his best. Yep, we agree on that. Did Atletico rest any teamers in their last game? I do not know. I think they did. This formation doesn't look exactly the same. Let's see. Liverpool drew to Brentford this weekend. That is quite strange. 1-0 Milan win. Even though they drew Brentford, are really solid and very motivated after being out of the top 5 for more than 70 years. Wow. I know Rebic will score or assist, maybe both. Lucas says 3-1 to Milan. Hillary, what's up, Hillary Colley? Haven't seen Hillary Colley in a while. I will say 0-0 in the San Siro. If we concede first, it's a wrap. Hopefully we score first. 2-1 Milan. If we do take the lead, I want to see how Pioli negotiates the game. He didn't change any shape at all to defend our lead at Anfield. No Italian way, if you like. Good observation. Atletico are very defensive-minded and stingy, but are ready to give you possession, but difficult to break down. That's what I'm reading from it as well. Leao going to score a brace tomorrow. You're the best, Roy. Thanks for your effort. Thank you, Ahmed. You're the best. Cyril Eibel, 1-3 Atletico. We seem to be crossing a lot even without Ibra and Giroud, which is a brainless sometimes from our players. I kind of agree with you, Steve. I do agree with you. Omari Thompson, what's up, Omari? Salamakers is going to score a beautiful goal tomorrow. Calling in now, guys. Calling in now. We're going to need Alexis Nutmeg Salamakers. All right, guys. With that, I want to thank everybody that joined us today. Thank you for joining Tactical Solutions edition September 27th, 2021. We did Spezia, we did Daniel Maldini, and now we did Atletico Madrid. Thank you, everybody. We are going to see you tomorrow with the watch along. Hopefully Ari is going to be with us. Maybe Ari is going to be able to join us. And then, of course, the post-match with Laert. Everybody, Forza Milan, guys. Big game tomorrow, guys. Today we need to be excited. We got to send positive vibes to the players. So if you're going to write messages on Twitter or on Instagram or on Facebook to our players on AC Milan, send them positive vibes. So we will see you tomorrow, everybody. Thank you very much. Alla prossima. Arrivederci. Ciao. Forza. Il grande, unico. Milan. Milano, ragazzi. Milano. Forza Milan, guys. Forza Milan. Ciao. See you tomorrow. Bye.